What's up everyone, it's Sinistry, and today I want to discuss what could possibly come after Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is over. Now, if you're unaware, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is going to have booster packs of additional maps coming out through the end of 2023. The first one already came out earlier this year, but the second one is coming out in August, and I'm very excited for it. But I do think that it kind of signals the end of 8, and I don't actually think that Mario Kart 9 is going to come out anytime soon. This is because Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold almost as many copies as there have been Switch sales, which means that almost everybody who owns a Switch owns a copy of Mario Kart 8. This is kind of an issue for Nintendo because if they just do a Mario Kart 9 and they don't really switch up the formula, they don't add, a lot of new modes or new characters or tons of new maps or really make it anything very special, it's just going to feel stale and people are just not going to spend their money on a game when they could already play the game that they most likely already own. So I think that Nintendo definitely has a couple of options as far as what to do with the Mario Kart series after 8 is over. The first option is to, of course, wait a long time and then ship out Mario Kart 9 when the time is right, maybe on a future console. But I actually think that they're going to do possibly some other things with the Mario Kart series, and I want to talk about one that I think could be such a cool idea. So today, let's just dive into what a Nintendo Kart could look like rather than a Mario Kart. Okay, so you've probably been seeing online people mentioning, what if there was a Nintendo Kart? What if Nintendo just did like the Super Smash of Mario Kart? And I think that that's kind of what Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is already doing. So this isn't exactly like we're doing a Smash Bros formula kind of thing. This is more of a let's bring over great properties that we haven't used in a very long time and let's make them a Nintendo Switch kind of game, either making them remakes, ports, I guess, or even just expanding upon these ideas. And there are 4 games in particular that I would love to see represented in a pack or even as separate games if there were a lot of changes made or a lot of additions made to each of these games. So I'm going to dive into each of them separately, but I will give a bit of a disclaimer. The first 2 I have not played, so I don't have a lot to say. The second 2 I have a lot to say about. I'm going to try to keep it short for this video, but for any of the games, please leave comments down below with any of your thoughts or ideas for if you'd love to see them on the Switch, any of your memories playing them, or just give me some information about the games that I don't know a lot about if you would like, because I really would like to know what makes these games so special that people just cannot stop talking about them. I don't know. Okay, so diving right in, we're just going to talk about the 2 that I don't know a lot about. First is F-Zero. I have never played F-Zero in my entire life. The only exposure I've had to F-Zero has been through Smash, so honestly, I don't know a whole lot about it. I'm really sorry to people who love this game. I guess I have played the F-Zero map on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but that's not really equivalent, so I'm not even going to try to make speculations about what could be in this kind of game. What should they remake? What should they port? What should they expand upon? Because I genuinely have no idea how this game even plays. But please let me know in the comments if you have ideas. I will just say though that if Nintendo does come out with a Nintendo Kart or some kind of Mario Kart crossover and they don't include F-Zero, that's basically the death knell of the whole series. I genuinely think F-Zero has to be in whatever kind of like crossover thing happens if something does happen, because otherwise it's just a huge slap in the face to the fandom, and that would be so rude. I don't think Nintendo would do that. I genuinely think they would try to represent F-Zero. They know that people care about this, but they just know that it doesn't have the same clout as like some of their bigger names. So that's why they haven't made F-Zero games all that often. But I do think that it could be a great opportunity to represent a franchise and also expose people to the franchise by also including it alongside some other bigger names. Okay, so the second game that I want to talk about, I am preparing for people to be upset that I have never played this game, but it is Diddy Kong Racing. I just never had a Nintendo 64, so I am very sorry. if you are personally offended by me not playing this game, but I know some people take this game very seriously, as they do with the rest of like the Donkey Kong games. I don't know why, but the Donkey Kong fandom is just very hardcore, and like I respect it, honestly. So if you love Diddy Kong Racing, then yes, I definitely think that this game should be included. I don't know if it's good or not. I literally have never seen a video of it. I have never interacted with Diddy Kong Racing in any kind of way. I just see people online talk about it sometimes, and like I don't know if it's ironic. That's the one thing I will say. Like I don't know if the game's actually bad and people ironically are like, oh yeah, this should be on the Switch, or if it's actually good. So like please like decipher for me, because I just need to know. You can't tell through text online. I just need to know. But I do think it should be included because it would be just very fun to have. Like, why not? It's just a way to represent the Donkey Kong franchise. We don't get that much representation for the Donkey Kong franchise, despite the fact that it is pretty iconic for Nintendo. So I think it would just be cool to include it, and like, why not? Okay, now the third game that I want to talk about, please bear with me because I am obsessed. It is Kirby Air Ride. My guys, if you have never played this game, you are truly missing out. I was a GameCube kid, so Kirby Air Ride was a game I played so much. I was just so obsessed with Kirby Air Ride, and I still am to this day. It does have 3 different modes, and I think one of them absolutely needs to be in any kind of like racing crossover game. The other 2, hit or miss. One I would definitely like to see, the other one I don't really care about, but I'm just gonna break them down quick. So the one that I don't really care about is Top Ride. I think if you've played Kirby Air Ride, you understand why. It just didn't have the best controls. It was kind of boring. It's just like a top-down racer, and it feels much more like a mini game. And actually, I think it is a mini game in Mario Party, so honestly, it's not that different from the Mario Party mini game, and that means it doesn't really deserve its own spot in a crossover kind of compendium of sorts, I guess is what you'd call it. I don't know, but I don't think that Top Ride needs to be included. Let's just leave that in the past on the GameCube. Okay, so the other mode that I just don't really care if they include or not is Air Ride. Air Ride mode is good. It's just basically like Mario Kart, so it's not really anything all that different. That's why I don't think they would have to include it, but it does have a little bit of like the flight mechanic in some of the maps. I do think the maps are beautifully designed, and I do think it's a very fun mode, but I just don't know that it's needed if you have Mario Kart already. It's a little too similar, so personally, it's okay if they chose not to include this, but I would be personally offended if they did not include the third mode, which is City Trial. Okay, so City Trial is personally my favorite Kirby Air Ride mode. I think it's most people's favorite mode, but basically you fly around and I guess ride around this big city, and there are a bunch of different areas. There's like the actual main city, there's like grassland, an ocean, a volcano, the underground, secret rooms. There's all kinds of cool things. You can just go and explore, and there's so much to do in it. So you have everybody in this map, and there are different stars scattered all over the map. And the stars are all the different types of stars that you can collect throughout the game. So you have like, honestly, the only 2 that I remember are like the Shadow Star and the one that looks like a takeout box. But other than that, I mean, there's one that was really hard to control that was like a green one, and it kind of was shaped like this, I think. And then it had little like things on the outside that were also triangle like that. I don't know. Y'all probably remember all these different stars if you played Kirby Air Ride. I don't know how to describe them, and I don't know what their names are. But basically, you could find all these different stars all over. They have different stats and different like abilities and stuff. So it was super fun to see what you would find. I always looked for the Shadow Star. Let's be real. The Shadow Star was the best. But personally, there were a couple others that I also liked, and one of them being the little takeout box. But basically, you would find your star, and then you would run around and you would collect stat boosts, and you would try to avoid the stat downgrades, I guess. and you would try to boost up whatever stats you thought you needed the most. You could also attack people. You could just explore and find little secrets and things. I genuinely cannot even remember everything that was part of this mode because it was so fun and it was so jam-packed of all kinds of different things to do. And then at the end, you would go up against everybody in a mini game to see who actually wins. And the mini game was randomized. So it would sometimes be like you battled someone and you needed to have the strongest attack and like the best HP so that when people hit you, you would do like tons of damage back to them and stuff like that. And whoever lasted the longest would win. You would also have a mode where you had to see who could glide the farthest. So if you had a really heavy star, you were basically screwed. If you had a really light star and you had some like gliding stats or like some weight down so that you didn't have as much weight, then you would go even further, things like that. It was so fun, and it was very frustrating too when you lost at the minigame because you had the wrong star, but I mean, everybody went through that, so like that wasn't just me. I think that City Trial would be so fun to have on the Switch. You could have a huge and very lush kind of city. You could have great graphics. They don't need to use the GameCube graphics. Nintendo, do not use the GameCube graphics. This is not Mario 3D All-Stars. You can't just slap these games on and call it a day. People aren't going to buy it if you do that. They will for Mario 3D All-Stars. They won't for this. So make the graphics better. But other than that, I mean, just expand the map, include the ability to play with more people. I think you could only play with 4 people on the original Kirby Air Ride, so if you could play with like 8, that would be very fun, or even 12. It just kind of depends on the size of the map and like how many options there are, how the mini games run, all that stuff. That's for Nintendo to figure out. That's not for me. I'm just a mere person. So anyway, I definitely think that City Trial needs to be part of this little compendium of Nintendo racing games. Let's do it, let's add it, and let's move on to the final game that I need to see within this little crossover. All right, so the last one, if you know, you know, it is Mario Kart Double Dash. Again, just like Kirby Air Ride, this was my childhood. I played so much Double Dash. This game, I still want to say that this is the best Mario Kart. Honestly, I think Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the best Mario Kart. Like, let's be real here. It's so good. But Double Dash just hit different. I just love the ability to play with 2 characters. I would love to see a Mario Kart where you could play with like your friend and you would go up against other duos. That would be super fun. I miss being able to shuffle items. Nintendo, I miss it so much. It was super annoying getting to play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because it was like the first Mario Kart I'd played in a long time. And I'd played other ones in between Double Dash and 8, but I hadn't played them in like years. So playing 8 and then being like, oh yeah, you can't actually like swap your items, you have to just use them. Very sad. Also, let me know if I'm wrong. I could be wrong here, but I kind of think that in Double Dash, you didn't have to hold down a button in order to have like a shell or a banana peel just follow your cart so that you wouldn't get hit by like red shells and stuff like that. I don't know if that is me misremembering, but I think that you could do that and it wasn't as big of a pain as it is in 8 where you have to actively hold down the button to drag it along behind you, which personally I do not like having to do. It is very difficult for my hands to do. It's not very fun, but I don't know, I could be wrong. I think that that's something they need to implement regardless, but again, another thing that I love about Double Dash, if that is something I'm remembering correctly. But personally, I think that Double Dash is just a little bit of a fresher take on Mario Kart. If you haven't ever played Double Dash and then you were to pick up this little crossover event, then Double Dash would feel very new, I think. And especially if they did like full remake or if they expanded upon it, I just think that Double Dash would be such a fun and unique kind of take on Mario Kart and would still keep the game kind of in the Mario Kart family. It doesn't need to be marketed as Nintendo Kart if the flagship is like a Mario Kart Double Dash remake, and then also it's expanding, and then also there will be these other modes as well. It could just be kind of like, here's Mario Kart 9 plus friends or something. I don't know. They could even add this as DLC to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They could actually like market all of these games to every Switch owner basically, by just being like, hey, we're gonna have this paid DLC of all these classic games that you loved to play when you were a kid. Why not pick it up? If you own Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which you almost definitely do, it's only $30. You can get all 4 of these classic game modes and you can play with your friends. You can play online. I mean, who wouldn't do this? It would be so fun. Honestly, Nintendo, you gotta do this. Please, I'm begging you. I think a lot of people online are begging you right now. I don't think we're gonna get a Mario Kart 9, so we really need to see something new and innovative. And I don't think that mobile or AR, or even if they went the route of VR, I don't think any of these kinds of things are really going to hit as well as just bringing on some older properties that were really awesome, making them better. Please, I have to say this. I have to. Everybody, if you got 3D All-Stars, you understand. They need to make them better. They can't just like slap it in the old Portomatic and have it come out of the Switch. I know that's not how it works, but y'all, they can't just port it. They need to remake, they need to upgrade the graphics, they need to make the controls better, they need to do all of these things. Please don't just leave us in the dust here, Nintendo. I think that this would be such a fun opportunity, and it would totally appeal to the market of people who own Switches as like 20s and 30s year old adults who were playing these games when they were kids or teens, who had a lot of fun. I mean, obviously the little kids nowadays like don't know these games, but it's also a great opportunity to get them more invested in these other properties as well. And if this kind of like DLC or pack did really well, then maybe we could even get a sequel. Maybe we could get a Kirby Air Ride 2. Maybe we could get Triple Dash. I don't know. What would you call Double Dash squared? I don't know. You could get another F-Zero game, because I know y'all are hungry for that. And then I don't know if people actually like Diddy Kong Racing still, so I don't know if you want another one or not, but you could maybe get one, maybe, if there's interest. Yeah, honestly, I think that this is just the best possible opportunity for Nintendo, because again, I don't think mobile, I don't think AR, I don't think any of these kinds of cool, hip, trendy technology kinds of opportunities and ventures that they're looking into with Mario Kart are really going to help this franchise all that much. And Mario Kart 9 needs to happen on another console in the far future. Let's do it, Nintendo. Okay, if you liked this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. I have been posting all kinds of content once a week. I'm going to continue posting content every Thursday. So if you have topics that you would like me to talk about, you can also leave those down in the comments. But let me know what you thought of these ideas. If you have any other ideas of your own, if you have anything you agree or disagree on, I'm totally open to hearing your thoughts. So without further ado, I will see y'all next time.